Hey, everybody! Welcome back to Buddies on Buddies, the show with two real life buddies talking about buddy action comedy movies. I'm Kenny Lane.
I'm Lucas Hill.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Kenny?
I'm pretty good. I was looking at our diagnostics on. I don't check them very often, but I did. I saw one of our videos had an average view time of 1 second.
Which one?
I think it was. I think it was only for the month of this. It was something for 1 month. But I think it was Men in Black or something. That's for 1 second. So what if that's the average? Is like half the people watching for 0 seconds?
I'm sure they see the thumbnail and go, "Ooh, what's this?" Like, "Oh, it's two guys talking. I'm not interested."
Boom.
I would do that.
Less than a second.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey. For
Have you
those of
been?
you still there, congratulations. You made it longer than a lot of people.
You're in the 99.9 percentile.
At 52 seconds. Yeah.
Real quick, how's your life? Any antidotes? It's one of those.
Anecdotes? Sure.
Whatever.
Not really. I got the birthday weekend coming up this weekend. That should be fun. Turning 41. You guys, you and Carrie came up a couple weeks back and had a great time. Lots of golf. I have not drank since, though. That's how much fun that whole weekend was. I did enjoy it, though.
Yeah, I'm still recovering. That was fun, but that was 3 days in a row, and we're in our 40s. It's not the same.
Yeah, you can't. Those hangovers are really brutal now. But anyway, still a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's nice to pretend we're the alcoholics we were in our 20s.
It's a nice vacation.
Just for
you can't live in the past, but it's nice to visit.
Have you seen anything before we jump into the movie we're doing this week?
Yeah, Megan and I have been going to the theater here actually quite a lot. I saw 3 new movies since the last episode. I saw Super Mario Brothers. Do you see Super Mario Brothers yet?
No, I'm an adult. What'd you think, though?
I thought it's a movie aimed at 5-year-olds, which is fine, but I was thinking I necessarily wouldn't be like the best animated movie ever, or like I thought it might be along the lines of like Kung Fu Panda, quality.
Yeah.
And it's worse than that. I felt like it was made by AI. Like it's that corporate, but banal and forgettable, like as soon as it's over. And it made me think of like, if they could make like McDonald's, the movie cartoon, and have Ron McDonald go to McDonald World. He meets Grimace and he meets, all these people and stuff. And yeah, so that's what it felt like to me anyway.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was. I'll watch it on streaming service or something, just because I am a fan of the video games. What else did you watch?
Then we saw Jesus Revolution, the new Christian faith-based movie starring Kelsey Grammer.
How was that?
That was interesting to see it in the theater, because there were people like it was actually fairly crowded for a matinee, and it was people saying, amen, like when the Kelsey Grammer started preaching. Megan at one point like took a bite of like her candy bar. She's like, "This is so fucking good," and then like people thought she was like talking about the movie and like a round of applause or something. But it was, I didn't know what it was about, other than I knew it was like a Christian movie starring Kelsey Grammer. I'm a big grammar Nazi. That's what I say. As Kelsey Grammer fans call ourselves. But I didn't know what it was about. It's actually the like origin story of the Calvary Church and the Harvest Church. Are you familiar with those churches?
No.
They're just super huge, like those big mega churches out of California. So it was kind of like how they started in the 60s and stuff. But it was actually, I will say Christian movies are getting better as far as the writing, the acting, the everything. But you can't really criticize this movie without going into like the mega church itself. So it's kind of one of those, I'm sure certain people that are, will love it. And most people will be like, what the fuck is this? Who cares?
So you watched a movie that's basically a commercial for a video game and the products, and a movie that's a promotion for
a mega church.
Yeah, mega church. Great.
And both were not that good. I have to say.
That's true cinema.
Yes. And then lastly, I saw Champions, the new movie with Woody Harrelson, directed by I think it's Bobby Farrelly, did this one by himself. So I love Kingpin. I thought I'd see what this one's about, but it's basically like it's the Mighty Ducks, Woody Harrelson gets in trouble with the law. I think a DUI. The judge sentences him to coach, but it's a adult basketball team with Down syndrome. But it basically it's very cliche. It goes everywhere. The cast is good. The what do they call them? Diversity cast is good. And I like Woody Harrelson and stuff. But yeah, it's just it's like one of those Farley Brothers that wants to warmly embrace this marginalized group and make just constant jokes at their expense at the same time.
And you're not a big fan of marginalized groups.
Why wouldn't I be a fan of marginalized groups, Lucas? Tell me, what are the reasons not to be a fan of marginalized groups?
You talk way different when you're on the mic than when you're off the mic. That's all I'm going to say.
Uh-huh.
I haven't really watched any movies, but I did watch the show The Bear, which is pretty enjoyable. Didn't like it as much as I thought, but it was a fun first season. I love shows that are like drama / comedies, but they're only a half hour long, because then you just go through the whole season and it doesn't feel like it takes 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I've really been watching.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of brevity. why must the show go on? Just come on, wrap it up.
Finish it in a week. It's like so nice,
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's move right on to it. What movie are we covering this week?
This week we are reviewing the 2010 Warner Brothers release Cop Out, starring Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan, directed by Kevin Smith. And what'd you think of Cop Out, Lucas?
Well, first, what's the plot of Cop Out? I'm going to make you do more of the heavy lifting in this one because you made me watch this.
Well, I did the plot last time to RRR, so Cop Out's pretty easty. Why don't you go for it?
2 fucking cops do stupid shit. Doesn't really mean anything. I don't care. What did you think of Cop Out?
Beautifully.
Pretty much.
I'm not heavy lifting here. It's a stupid fucking movie. Whatever. All right, got it.
What did you think of Cop Out?
Well, I went in with really low expectations, and I was actually quite surprised. I thought it was pretty enjoyable, pretty fast-paced, pretty funny. The cast was good. Tracy Morgan was excellent. Bruce Willis, he really is not, he's not phoning it in. He's really like trying. Needle drops were fucking sick. Fast paced, tight, just blew me away. Actually, what do you think?
No, I have to agree with you, except for everything.
Whoa, that's kidding. It was a total piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I will say, in its defense, you are right. It is a action comedy. There is enough action. It is an action.
Qualified.
Yeah,
there's not a lot, but enough to qualify.
Yeah, but there's car chases, shootouts, and all that stuff. It's
right.
Par for the course for a buddy comedy movie. No, it's got off. That's what I expected, and it was actually slightly better than I expected. But that's not saying much because I was expecting.
Really?
Well, from the opening
rave review, I was figuring you were going to be like bottom of the barrel, like Kenny, I'm quit the show. I can't take it anymore.
I mean, after that opening scene, I'm there, but that's not how you open a movie. That scene is god awful. It's a conversation, and then it's a horrible comedic set piece. It doesn't even make sense. He's just constant screaming. Couldn't take it. Then it kind of gets not better, but at least.
Well, talk about that scene a bit. Like I was, I know a lot of times action comedies, they stack a big action scene or a big scene at the beginning to grab your attention. A lot of screenplays do that, So I know like, oh, they think this is like one of the big funny scenes, and it's completely fucking flat. So, oh my God, the rest of the movie is going to be fucking awful because they think this is like a really great scene to open with.
Yeah, at least show the bad guys doing something. At least do that. A lot of movies do that, but yeah, that's a horrible scene. It's not funny. It's edited to all hell. I was surprised to see that Kevin Smith edited this, and not surprised because it is edited like shit, just chopped up bits, and it's just really bad editing. What else? Yeah, just really grating. I've never seen a buddy cop action movie, and we've watched plenty of them where they lose their badge and gun so early.
Wow, yeah, I was like, they already got to this huge cliche, the captain just demanding the badge and gun. Yeah, but they still go about their business, like they're cops. Like that made one of the many things that doesn't make any sense in this movie.
Yeah, they're still dealing with the rival cops.
Yeah,
a lot of jokes are sophomoric and scatological and dealing with fucking and stuff, but the poop jokes were constant. Like, who sat around and thought this is good? More poop jokes. People are gonna love this.
Yeah, it's all really juvenile. I mean, you look back at Kevin Smith's, stuff in the 90s, it was like constant sex and poop and whatever jokes and stuff like that. He even had a poop monster in Dogma. I mean, like, so maybe, and this is his version of a big dumb studio flick, so it makes sense, sort of.
And I love Sean William Scott. Normally, I'm a defender of his. He is fucking awful in this.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree. He's very awful. They go back to that same when he repeats the person's voice. They go back to that well 3 times in this fucking 3 different scenes in this, which it wasn't funny. It was annoying the first time. But yeah, he's really bad. I'm a big I loved Tracy Morgan until this movie, and I was like, I think this movie might have killed his movie career because Tracy Morgan's a really funny guy, but it did not come across in this movie at all.
There's some funny behind the scenes info that we'll get to because I don't think we have either of us too much to say about this movie. The kid, another highlight is that kid was really good. The car thief kid.
Him getting punched in the nuts by Tracy Morgan is the only time I laughed this entire film. But that I'll give it that one moment.
Just as the way he tells them to shut the fuck up and how stupid they are and shit. Like, it was very, very well done. The kid was great. I looked him up. He hasn't done shit, but I'm surprised because he was good.
Yeah.
Yes, we got that. I was really confused by one part in the movie. Okay, the bad guys tell them to go steal this car that he really wants. So they go, they get the car, and then the bad guys start chasing them in the car that they told them to get and shooting at them and stuff. Why would they do that? They got what they wanted.
Honestly, since after they started going about their business as cops, even though they had to turn in their badge and gun and no one seems to care, that I completely tuned out of the plot. And I wasn't following it at all. I knew that these are the bad guys. They're trying to get them. That's all I remember. I don't remember why the gal was kidnapped. Was she like the guy's girlfriend or what? I don't know. Yeah, I just stopped paying attention like to the mechanics of it pretty fast.
And then it just kept repeatedly going to the villain, and he's torturing and murdering his own guys. There's like 3 or 4 scenes like that.
Yeah.
What a bad movie.
How do you think the Hispanics came off in this flick? I thought they kind of nailed it.
Yeah, I would be offended. I am offended. I'm not even Hispanic.
Yeah.
They start with Bruce Willis and his daughter. She wants this big expensive wedding. And Jason Lee's an asshole and offering to pay for it. And then Tracy Morgan thinks his wife's cheating on him for reasons. And then we don't see those characters do anything other than run around the city, bouncing thing to thing. And then at the end, that issue comes back up with both of them. Like, it's
the very end,
not ingrained in the characters.
Right.
So why do it? Who cares?
Why do it? Yeah, well, I think it's just to get some little character stuff, but the whole thing of Bruce Willis's motivation to raise the like $50,000 to pay for his daughter's dream wedding, I thought was kind of a shitty motivator anyway. Because like if you're someone's dream wedding, like $50,000, if you know your parents aren't rich, who's going to put up for it, you shouldn't even ask them to make my dream wedding happen. I thought that was just kind of an asshole. It didn't get me at all. As like, oh yeah, he really wants to do this for his daughter. I just thought like your daughter seems awful to fucking make you do that. So that wasn't a very good plot. But you said this script had been circulating.
The script was hot. It was on Blacklist. Everybody, it had big talent attached before it landed on Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan, and it finally got made. But the script wasn't good. I'm telling you, like, none of us liked the script.
Yeah, just got hot for some reason. Like, just
for some reason, because it had shit jokes or something. I don't know, but it wasn't funny.
Well, I'm just trying to because this movie feels so like inessential. Like, I don't know what the hook of it was. Like, it seems like it wants to be it's not a spoof of buddy action comedy movies. It seems like it wants to be a buddy action comedy movie, but there's nothing interesting or inspired about it like at all. I don't know what was it about it like that was like, oh, this is interesting or anything.
It was like dialogue heavy, and they were just talking like characters like that don't normally talk in a buddy action movie, but they didn't pull it away. They didn't pull it off. And this also came out like after Taxi Driver, not Taxi Driver. Was it Jimmy Fallon, Queen Latifah one?
Oh, Taxi?
Yeah.
I think this was inspired by Taxi.
But the thing is, they were already doing buddy comedies that were already spoofs of themselves while actually being one. So this script wasn't anything special, and the movie certainly.
Right, yeah. Maybe it was because the other guys was being produced around the same time. So they wanted to produce, You know, another one wanted to do something with that or something. I know that when this movie got trashed by the critics, you know, of course, but the other guys, I remember us going to that when we were writing our like little Sunset Takedown Buddy Action comedy scripts. We wanted to go see the other. That was the big movie time, and critics actually gave other guys a pass, and that was pretty good. But we kind of came out of the theater like, did that kind of suck? I think it did. We were big fans of, you know, Will Ferrell at the time, but I think it's because Cop Out had come out a couple of months before. So they were like, well, compared to Cop Out, this is a fucking masterpiece, you know?
Well, the other guys has a great first act and it just kind of falls apart, but the first
Right.
act is amazing. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of lives up those laurels.
Mm-hmm.
This movie really sucked, and I was fighting with you tonight. I had to watch it, and I really didn't want to. And the whole time I'm watching it, going, "Fuck you, Kenny." Like I
Mary
was
watch
even
it
mad
with
at the filmmakers. I was like, "Fuck you, Kenny."
Did Mary watch it with you?
No, God, no, I wouldn't put her through that. I waited till she
No.
went to bed. I wasn't going to do that. She's
Megan watched it. Yeah, she thought it was fucking awful as well. And the whole time she's asking me, "Do you think Lucas is watching the whole thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." She's like, "I wouldn't blame him for turning it off." I was like, "I wouldn't either, but I know he's gonna watch the whole thing."
it's fucking 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's about at least 20 minutes, way too fucking long.
When it's this bad, it doesn't make the show any fun. By the way, it's kind of like,
Oh no, I'm having
Okay.
fun thinking about you watching it.
So this is probably gonna be a short episode.
Yeah.
They
cool.
some behind the
Okay.
scenes stuff. The one I found really funny is like
Mhm.
Tracy Morgan's so big and they were improvising a lot, and Tracy Morgan's just saying all this crazy stuff, and Bruce Willis
Yeah.
could not keep up and was just like, look, according to Kevin Smith, like looked at it in
Uh-huh.
a state of like kind of shock. Then he would
Yeah.
just look out the window and go, "Is that Maury Povich?"
Yeah.
that
Like
was
some 90s reference,
Yeah.
like, "Where's Connie Chung? Hey, don't Lorena Bob at me," or you know, like it was like, what are you doing improv from 1993? Like,
And then we realized or learned later that he had this degenerative mental issue.
yeah,
I don't know how long he's had it.
right.
That had any impacts.
But I mean, he is basically sleepwalking through this movie. It looks like, appears anyway. I mean, I don't like his energy level is, I mean, it's barely anything as far as like his personality or whatnot. I don't know. I started watching like moonlighting episodes like a year or two ago, and he's so manic and like a fast talker like
Mhm.
that. And then you see something like this, and you're like, wow, it's hard to believe that was ever his shtick at all. Like, you know, way back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. He was
Yeah.
a plank of wood throughout the entire thing.
Right.
He just kept
Yeah,
giving weird looks, like I can't believe how crazy this guy is, even though they're like partners and supposed to like
Partners
love each other and shit.
yeah. Did you think they had any chemistry at all? I didn't think they had any chemistry at all for partners. And it doesn't seem like they were partners. Then they don't even really know each other. I don't know. I didn't
No.
buy it. I
These
didn't buy
people-
anything in the movie.
No, these people would not know each other or hang out or anything like that. It was just complete
Mhm.
bullshit.
Yeah. Nothing rang true this entire fucking movie. Not that I expected it to be, you know, super like a lot of verisimilitude or anything, but it just nothing about this movie was realistic at all, ever.
It was Kevin Smith's highest grossing movie.
Yeah, well, that shows how like big you think someone is in your circle, and then you realize that most people have no idea who this person is, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the flyover states aren't big Kevin Smith fans,
Right. Well, I guess most people, if it's his
Nobody.
biggest movie.
Yeah. I don't think anybody is anymore anyway.
Yeah.
He brought us
Because
a lot of
movies like
joy. What's that?
Because of movies like this that he made.
Yeah. He brought us a lot of joy when we were preteens and teenagers.
Yeah.
So we'll be thankful for that. So how would you rate this on a buddy action comedy scale?
Well, I won't want to go straight into the ratings. I'll let you go some of my notes. I know you're chomping at the bit to get out of here, but well, a couple of things. First, what is a cop out? Define it. Is the title worthy of such phrase? No, okay. I give it like a 1. I mean, I think I'm being generous with the 1. I think it could be a half of 1. I think if to get something like a 0, I have to find it like super offensive or just have to be nothing or something. But yeah, I'd say it's a 1 star. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint exactly what went wrong. Just everything. Like there was no chemistry. No, the jokes weren't funny. There's very little action. The action wasn't even staged very well. Yeah, just nothing about it seemed good ever.
Everything was just so awkward and stiff. Like you're watching them make a bad movie,
Yeah, yeah.
like
And so it's
forcing jokes in.
yeah, it's like someone shut off the laughter audience sign or something. It was just like it's a DOA right from the first scene.
You didn't have any other notes, did you? I didn't mean to steamroll you. If you had other thoughts, or if you were just joking.
Well, I did want to say, since we are kind of crapping on this movie, Kevin Smith had something to say about critics at the time about what this, what this movie. He says, writing a nasty review for Cop Out is akin to bullying a retarded kid. All you've done is make fun of something that wasn't doing you any harm and wanted to only give some cats some fun laughs. I liked that. I liked his, his.
He won't be
rebuttal there.
directing the Champions anytime soon.
No, he will not. But I do like anyone that doesn't like your movie. You're like calling yourself. You're like bullying a retarded kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect, perfect tweet.
Just shows what state of mind he is. I think he's gotten cooler since he had his heart attack. You know.
Maybe. Well, I've only heard nice things about Kevin Smith from like people that have met him and stuff. One guy was on his podcast back in December. He like Kevin Smith like married him and his wife. Like they showed up convention. He was just dead. He's like, hey, would you? He's like, yeah, sure. So I mean, he seems very, fans love him. He seems podcasting. I think just might be he's better at that kind of and being Kevin Smith than maybe being a director anymore. I don't know.
I'll never forgive him when. What was the last Star Wars movie? Return of the Skywalker or whatever the fuck.
Rise of the Skywalker.
Rise of
Yeah.
the Skywalker, and he was like,
Mhm.
I got to go to the set. Fans, you're not going to believe this movie.
Yeah.
He's going to blow your mind. I was like, oh, maybe it's going to turn out pretty good. So I haven't liked it since that.
Well, Disney, like, they'll go over like with a fine tooth comb podcasts that are dedicated to Star Wars and shit. And there's a lot of them. And if you say anything negative about Star Wars, they won't give you. But if you are just blindly praising them about everything, they send you tickets to Disneyland and all this stuff because they know you're just going to go nuts about it on your podcast. So a lot of podcasts have leaned into that, where they're just only praise every new Marvel movie, new Star Wars movie. Say it's perfect, it'll blow your mind, wow! Just so they'll get like some free shit.
And a lot of them do.
Yeah.
But, hey,
What are we doing?
We're all trying to get a nut. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would give this out of 5, 1.5, both as a movie and a buddy comedy. It's just shitty.
Yeah.
One's got to be completely incompetent, like barely English.
A 1, not a 0, but a 1.
What's that?
Not a 0, but a 1.
I don't think zeros exist. If you put something on film, you at least get a half star. If it's completely gibberish, I'd probably give it a 1. This gets 1.5. It's not completely gibberish, but
okay. So even Triumph of the Will gets a half a star with for you.
I don't even know what that is. Is that the where he shoots the building for 7 hours?
No, that's Empire. Yeah, Triumph of the Will is a Nazi propagandist flick, so it still gets a half a star in Lucas's book because it tried.
Oh, well, I'm not the one who like eats up all the Nazi propaganda like you do. That's a different podcast. I'm not on that.
Hey, I gotta see shit before I rate shit. See shit before you touch. All right.
What are we doing next week?
That's your pick. Well, I dragged you through the cop out mud this week. So what do you think?
I didn't really think about it. Has there been one that I've talked about that you haven't refused to let me do?
Well, you did bring up Money Talks, but I'm not sure how much of a buddy movie that is.
We're doing Money Talks. That's a good one.
Money Talks? Okay.
Yeah.
I like how we're doing every Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan movie besides Rush Hour.
Well, that means that when we do Rush Hour, it'll be a big deal. And everybody will be like,
yeah, well,
yeah.
Well, yeah, it'll be big. That'll be our biggest episode since RRR.
I doubt it.
No.
All right, stupid. Is there anything else you need to talk about?
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Cop Out was not very good. So you're welcome.
Yeah. So don't see it. This is all you need to see on Cop Out. So what other like Nazi propaganda stuff are you into? So you were talking to me the other day about
glad you asked.